Hey everybody, if you haven't seen this one yet, you're probably living under a rock like us because we haven't seen this one yet. This is Oliver Anthony singing Richmond, North of Richmond. It's been one of the mostest viralistest of all of the things that have come out, so let's check it out.
Yeah, it came out at a terrible time for us. We were unable to record until now, so here we are.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north of Richmond.
Already I'm on board. If you guys don't know how much I hate taxes, well,
You'll learn.
I do.
Wow. This is not at all what I was expecting out of a song that's gone as viral as this, because it's not so musically skillful, so to speak. It's not like what I would expect of a song that goes this viral.
It's not so processed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not very processed. That's a good way to put it. But it's very poignant. And the reason I can feel already why it's gone so viral is because it's very much striking at a common feeling, I mean, especially in the U.S., but probably to some degree around the world right now.
Imagine. Well, I mean, we've talked with, so we actually had a podcast where we talked with all kinds of exiles and freedom fighters around the world. So yeah, this concept of being ruled by people and, you know, having
surveilled all the time,
the rich people who are trying to watch you and tax you and, you know, basically control your life and everything. And it's not rich people, it's this particular set of people, right, who are trying to run you, essentially. It's like, yeah, that's a real thing happening all over the world.
Yeah, common terms you'll hear people say for it is like the establishment, or like anyone who watches Alex Jones will call it the globalists. The globalists! They're turning the frogs gay! But you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that.
But yeah, I mean, people definitely feel this feeling of being controlled, especially when you've got people coming out saying, well, we might have COVID lockdowns coming again, so, you know, be ready for that. And we just finished locking you down for 3 years, so I'm sure you'll like it a second time.
Well, and the thing is, it's not just like, you know, it's not just globalists. It's not just like elites in, say, like New York or Washington, D.C. It's like, I mean, though he's probably mostly talking about D.C., right?
I think he's
north
mostly
of
talking
Richmond,
about D.C.,
right?
yeah.
But the thing is, like, the same thing applies locally, you know? Like, it's not D.C. that keeps raising my property taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, like, builds these fancy new things around town on the people's dime who don't want it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the people here. There are people just like that here who just want to, like, control you, and you're just like cattle to them. You just make the money for them to be able to buy their opulent palaces, and it's just wrong.
Yeah.
I think.
Especially after you've made all the money for them to buy their opulent palaces, and you have to sit there with a declining dollar and
yeah,
just drinking each night away like he's singing about. I mean, he's really hitting the nail on the head with his lyrics.
and I got no problem somebody like earning a ton more money than me.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that, as long as they're not trying to like tell me how to live my life or, you know, steal my stuff, right? Like, you know, I'm not trying to make someone else live their life who's poorer than me. You know, like, just having more money isn't the problem. It's this idea of like trying to control people and stuff. And I like this because it has a very, going back to the song, a very real feeling to it, a very like from the heart feeling to it.
Yeah, you can feel the frustration and the, not hopelessness, but near hopelessness, just in the way his voice is strained at each powerful note he hits.
And the thing that, because recently there have been a few songs. There was a song by what's his name? Aldean.
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean. There was a song by Tom McDonald, and these songs were like fairly aggressive, and like when you put them next to each other, we're getting more and more aggressive, and kind of like try that in a small town to like we're gonna be really bad.
When we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. Yeah.
And so when this came out, I thought my impression was that this was kind of similar to those, having not seen it. But now I'm seeing that that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
At least we're a third through, and I haven't seen anything like that. This is like, look, I'm an American dude just trying to live my American life, and
you're messing it up.
you're messing it up.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world.
I don't know how much I can add to that. I can try to unpack it and expand upon it, but
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll actually add.
This song really speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, the reason this has gone so viral, it's not like this was a big name before this song.
I hadn't heard of him, but I will say he has a great beard, beautiful beard.
He does have a nice beard.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I mean, you can tell he's just struck a chord that everyone's been feeling. And I think this is the same chord that when you referenced Tom McDonald and Jason Aldean, this is the same chord that they've been like plucking around trying to find.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the feeling people are frustrated.
Well, it's like so clear. I mean, these are the things people talk about, right? Like people not on welfare talk about welfare. You know, it's like, you know, everybody that I talk to is like, well, I want to help people. I'm down to help people in some kind of way. But when you give it to the government, they do it this way, and they don't do it in a way that helps people. They do it in a way that keeps people down. They do it in a way that keeps people poor, and makes them unhealthy. You know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, everybody has a complaint about things, but the thing is, when you're the one who's out helping people on your own volition, as opposed to having your money taken and then some administrator getting paid to do it and then sending it out, and a tenth of your money actually gets out to help people, you don't get that. But when it's you're not complaining about the good work you're doing. When your neighbor's doing something out of the kindness of their heart for somebody, feeding the poor or whatever, nobody complains about that. I have never heard somebody complain about that.
Yep.
I hear people complain about the government, the welfare, like all of the charity programs. They're not charity programs because they're not voluntary, but the charity programs of the government, because they're so full of problems, and they don't actually come from people giving and sharing. They come from taking and bad planning. And maybe that planning's intentional, maybe it's not, but it's bad either way. But yeah, I've never heard anybody ever complain about somebody doing good because they choose to do good. I mean, that's the essence of doing good.
Yeah.
Is you choose to do a good thing and you make it happen and it benefits somebody's life. That's charity.
Yeah. Well, and then the very last part is when all this government does is kicks down the young men who are putting themselves 6 feet underground, right? Is that line. And it makes a lot of sense, especially when you think about how it feels like sometimes some of the movements to help underserved or minority classes, as they're described, is not actually helping the underserved, but is just kicking down those who have been served. Mm-hmm. They're not, for example, feminism started out wonderfully. It continued pretty dang well, got things really nicely settled for women, and now seems to have gotten to a point where it doesn't want to necessarily help women as much as just tell young men that they're evil, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of part of what he's singing about, that as a young man in this nation, you don't feel cared about anymore. And I think that's a major reason why you see in Gen Z, young men, Gen Z, are the first time in a long time that any population has skewed conservative when they're young, not skewing liberal when they're young. And I think it just shows that the pendulum swung a little too far one direction, and there's some fight back happening amongst young men now.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I don't care where somebody stands on their political spectrum. If they're trying to dominate my life, I disagree with what they're doing.
Which I'll talk about later, because he had a message that was interesting after this, when this song was used somewhere. I found it very interesting.
World's gotten to, for people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
I mean, there's a lot you can say about this, but at the end, the thing that struck me is I think this feeling that he's portraying in this song, I think this feeling, better than anything, most likely captures the revolutionary spirit that created the United States. I think this is what it was. These people who were living here in America, having come over from Britain and Ireland and wherever they were from, were so frustrated with the king on the other side of the world telling them what they should be doing and taxing them to no end and making their lives difficult and not helping them at all. That emotion is what he encapsulated very beautifully, probably in the most poignant way I've ever heard, because I've never really thought about what it would have been like to be in the mind of those people at the founding of America. What would have led them to have a revolution like that? This feeling is what would have done it.
So what's interesting to me is that a lot of times, so you have, like, let's just simplify this, like, really simple. Like, right-sided politics, left-sided politics, right? And both of these sides of politics, they say that they want freedom, but then they also, like, want to create rules to make the other people do what they want.
Yes.
And, like, so few people see that that is the problem. If side A, or if right side is like, well, we want freedom, but you guys have to do what we want, and left side's like, well, we want freedom, and you guys have to do what we want, then the amount of rules doubles, and everybody loses freedom. But if we're just like, look, freedom for you and freedom for me, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You don't tell me how to live my life. I'll trade with you. You'll trade with me. I'm not going to tax you. You don't tax me. You don't make me pay for your stuff. I won't make you pay for my stuff. That's freedom. And then we have the ability to help each other voluntarily. It's not like all of the help and charity goes away when you stop compelling people to do good things. It's not a good thing if you're compelling it to happen. If you want people to do good things, show them the benefits of doing good things. Show them the pain on the people who need help. You know? People will help. You guys are all human beings, right? Like, you've seen people who need help.
Puppies and play in the arms of the angels, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, right? Is like, by picking a side and saying, like, well, I'm going to have freedom for my people, but we're going to make the other people do stuff. Like, you don't get that you're destroying the entire group, because there is no right versus left. That's an illusion. And the more we play into that illusion, the worse you make it for yourself and everybody. when you realize, like, I'm a person, you're a person, and I want to live my freest life possible, and I want you to live your freest life possible, and we set up our system so that everybody can do that. And yes, there will be people who struggle. Of course, that's life. That's why when we're free, we're also free to help people who need help. And if we do that, then people can seek out the things that give them joy. They can seek out the things that build their society. And we can make things better. And that was the whole point, right, of this American project. And I know some of you watching this video aren't from the United States, but now you know. Like, that's the whole point of this project, is to build freedom in as great a capacity for everybody as possible, so that everybody can pursue their dreams and their desires without harming other people. But we've gone so far from that because everybody wants their freedom and wants to take someone else's. And you can't have freedom if you're taking someone else's. It doesn't work.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who argue that that's not what America was founded on. But the fact of the matter is, the reason we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness instead of the terms life, liberty, and property in the preamble,
John Locke, yeah,
is because they were afraid if they put life, liberty, and property, that word property in there would be used to maintain slavery for a long time. So they decided against it and put pursuit of happiness there instead. That is the entire reason it doesn't say property. So it's not like the founders of this nation founded it with the plan that they were going to be free and that slaves were going to be slaves. That wasn't the idea. Now, to get back to what you were saying about it's not left versus right, Oliver Anthony portrayed that beautifully this last week.
right.
Because there was
I didn't see this part you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So I've just heard about this. I tried to avoid as much news about this song as I could until this
Which was really hard because it was so viral. Like, it was on the news and everything, and we're just like...
everywhere.
My cousins were even like, hey, did you guys see this film? I'm like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Go away.
I got asked by 3 different people that I know personally if I would please react to this song. So...
yeah. Anyway,
this was huge.
We've been holding out. We've been just like living under a rock with.
It's been hard to avoid
because everyone on Earth has seen this. So,
but what I do know is that they played this song at the Republican presidential debate.
Okay. Oh.
And Oliver, like before the debate started, they played this song, and Oliver Anthony was not happy. He came out quite furious. Do you people not understand? I was singing about you. That he wasn't mad. Like you would think if he was singing against like the left, right? He would be mad if the Democrats had played it, but not if the Republicans had played it. No, he was very upset that the Republicans had played it at their event because he was singing about all of the rich men north of Richmond, all of the people who were trying to control him, not just one side. I thought that was extremely respectable because you would have thought that maybe he was just attacking one side tribally, but he wasn't.
Which is what I felt in some of the other songs that we had mentioned earlier.
Yes.
I did feel that.
Yes. But no, he was very upset about that. I commend that. I mean, the fact of the matter is the parties aren't built to create freedom for us right now, and it sucks, but you wish you could wake up and it not be so, but that's just how it is. Just like he said. He really hit the nail right on the head. This is the song that I think could be used as a clarion call to actually bring freedom back. That I felt that with this song. I haven't felt that with other songs. Other songs I thought were like anthems of like, yeah, let's get up and fight back.
Yeah.
This one strikes me as this can be the call.
Yeah, and it's not even about
everyone understand.
Exactly, and it's not even about fighting. It's not even about like mess around and find out.
No,
it's like this is what's happening, and you can see it, right? Like, you can see it by just looking. This is what's happening. Do with it what you will.
Yeah. I'm finding a large class of political pundits are starting to drop the left-right conversation, and a lot of them are starting to forego that for an argument of establishment, anti-establishment position. Mm-hmm. And I think that better reflects what we're seeing nowadays than right and left. Right and left talks about social issues and how you want to handle taxes and social ideals. And that's not really what people are fighting on anymore. It seems to be more of an establishment, anti-establishment line. Instead of east-west on the political compass, it's more of a north-south battle now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would even push back on that too, because you can have like people who are anti-establishment or new blood, right?
Yeah.
Who are coming in and they're just as ready to write new laws and take
Oh,
away
yeah,
somebody's freedom
absolutely.
as someone who's old money, who's been in the whose father's father was a politician, you know, and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But,
No, that's very true. That's why I said it's more of a north-south.
which meaning like tyranny versus freedom.
Yeah,
Not
it's-
not like establishment versus non-establishment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's probably more accurate. It's more becoming a battle of people who want to control versus people who don't want to be controlled than a battle of left and right social opinions anymore. Even though that's what you see playing out on like Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to this. I want to hear everybody else's thoughts. I feel like this is a song that has really inspired a lot of people and gotten people thinking. So please let us know what you think, because I will read every single comment that you put on about this video.
For the record,
we
I read
every-
every single comment.
Yeah.
We don't comment back on all of them because I don't have that much time in a day. But I do read all of them.
We'll pin our favorite from this video.
So please let us know what your thoughts are. And
Subscribe, please. And we'll see you.
I don't have another video to send you to after this one.
No, just subscribe and we'll catch you next time. We love you. Thank you. Thank you for being here.